Heute schätzen wir uns glücklich, Ihnen einen dieser aufschlussreichen Vorträge zu zeigen. Er trägt den Titel Liebe ist das Strahlen in einem wahren Menschenherzen, inzwischen Meisterin und Schülern, gehalten auf Chinesisch am 31. Dezember 2017 in Kaohsiung, Taiwan, auch bekannt als Formosa.
Peace for Ukraine or Ukraine.
Ngắm nhìn dung ánh của chàng, ai hay ta đã cách ngàn dặm xa. Chàng ơi đã có cùng ta vòng tay một thuở thân ngà ấp yêu.
就是我不忍心啊，没办法拒绝，我没有办法拒绝我自己那个心啊。我知道很清楚，我收养他们以前，我也有打电话给一些在泰国的人，我说我现在真的很挣扎了。我知道我瘦了以后，就是最少10年、10几年了，会被折磨死的。我有讲了，如果有泰国人那个有跟我帮助翻译，他们会知道的。我讲好几次了，知道就忘知道，做还是一样，还是没有办法，了解吗？我那个如果等久了以后，也许也可以送给什么寺庙的。不过我看他们那个泰国外面的街上的狗啊，病了这边掉毛，那边那个长什么瘤啊，看起来非常脏啊，我很瘦到这个样子。连那个妈妈那个主人在旁边也有喂他一点，这样还瘦到什么骨头就可以算出来，何况那些街上的，不管是谁养，他们那边养狗不是像我们养一样啊。比方说我隔壁有一个杂货店啊，他们也有几只狗了，他们很善良的狗。每一次我过去啊，他就来跟我要东西。那我进来那个店了，买一点什么面包好的，就给他吃，他就吃了。他不认识，不过他跟我要东西。我认为他们就是那些要什么福报了，加实力，结果不是啊。有一次我经过那个地方，我要进来买那个杂货店买东西，然后我看那个他们给他吃的东西就一大碗的饭，白饭的，然后上面有一条那个小的鱼了，像这样子那么小，这样这么长那种小小鱼，他已经吃光了，剩下骨头而已，留在那里，然后整个晚饭也没吃，就是这样子。已经有主人了，那个是一个杂货店了，不是说没有钱了，懂吗？但是就这样对待狗而已，这样子已经最好了。所以那只狗我看它善良的，不过它很那个很沉闷很昏沉那种啊，不是跟我狗那么活泼。My God， 你跟它玩也没办法的，太多力量了。那只狗它走路很慢了，懂不懂？眼睛也钝钝的，就是这样啊。不过我也没办法管那么多了。每次我又给他东西，我先跟主人讲好了，我说你这狗啊好善良，我很爱它，我现在买这个给他一点点结缘好不好？你允许吧，这样我才给他，了解吗？因为人家有主人啊，不能随便这样子在前面丢一丢，好像你很有钱啊，看不起人家的那个对待狗的方法。不过我住那边也不久了，大概1个月什么左右，后来要去别的地方了，也是为了安全问题了。去的别的地方以后也不行，也要去别的地方，要再走了。去年呢是 禅的一个年了，一天到晚要逃跑，住哪里都不安顿。因为那些护法跟我讲事情太可怕了，他模仿很清楚啊。如果在那边继续留的话，会怎么死的？模仿跟我描述很清楚，是用什么办法的，松手他会用什么办法的等等，不同的地方他讲不同的方法所以不能不走了。有时候那个时候刚认识狗嘛，我也舍不得这样子走，让他们在那边，所以以后常常跑来跑去，以前呢跑来跑去，不过不能天天这样跑啊，安全的时候再回来，有时候不同国家回来了我再出去当名士没那么容易了，所以什么人都在那边自生出来，他们自己嘲笑自己的了 ，OK， 给天堂大笑了，没用啊！不是说我就是名士就是名士吧，不是这样子了。你如果能够的话，你看那个佛也被缠到脚了，耶稣基督也像被钉了，穆罕默德先师了，祝他和平了，还是一样被人家吹下整个被子，有吗？然后某好多我讲不完了，你们自己找书看吧 ，OK？ 我讲的话我会掉眼泪，我会哭啊。好多了名士都被杀很惨了，不是用刀割就很快而已。有一次我跑累了，就跟他们说：“哎呀，死就死嘛，算了，我累了，我不跑了。”他说：“不行。”我说：“怎么不行？”他说：“世界还需要你。”那我就听他来，听这样我还是打包走了，听懂吗？不管他讲对不对，万一他讲对了，而且他为什么骗我，了解吗？他讲很清楚，描述很清楚，可以看得出来。然后也不是一个天神讲很多的，懂不懂？因为有时候他一个讲不听，我不听了，我太忙了，然后就不听。等一下另外要来，要跟我说一样的，然后另外一个也要来跟我说一样，到我走为止啊，不然他不让我睡觉，不让我打坐，吃饭他也来吵，说你要走了打坐他也来吵。这个吵不是像那种大红钟那个吵了，他吵你没办法不听的，没办法听不到的。你们记得的故事，师父说我睡在一个寺庙的很大红钟旁边，有没有？一照起来呢，整个村也会听得到，2-3个隔壁村也听到，有没有？跟道场的钟一样嘛。我也听不到的，懂吗？然后人家敲门很大声，好几次我也听不到。不过那边那个天神讲的时候，你没办法不听。隔壁，比方说有一个人睡在我旁边，我是坐在我旁边，他听不到的。不过我不能不听，我不能听不到，这奇怪的。声音很小了，比方说跟你那个闹钟一样，那么最大是这样而已。然后平常都是小小的，跟那种比较吵的音乐一样，不然的话传真机那种一样，懂不懂？不过你不能不听呢，奇怪了，我马上就起来了然后就听他们传信了。传信不是说用口传的，我还是要起来查看的，像 email 一样，有没有 ？email 你拿到 email， 它会有一种声音给你，知道吗？不过你还要自己出来，那个按这个按那个钮查看 是要学什么东西，类似的，就是他们上面比较文明啊，不用机器啊。我这边当然没有机器啊，是用那边查的。我外面不知道那些 email 什么的，那边很清楚，因为我们这专门用这些了。外面 email 我很懒得学了。喝这个以后就不用吃饭了，喝2-3个这样子就饱死了。就是最后一个我试看看了，3个医生了，如果这个不好的话我就算了，不要再吃任何药了。我肚子差一点变成药房了，懂吗？好多，现在还有很多放在里面，我吃太多不舒服。这个是最后的啊，如果没效的话我就不管它了。死就死嘛，活也是这样，没什么好东西。为了大家而活了，就跟你有小孩一样嘛。有时候你也不是说贪生喂食什么，就是小孩还小了，要照顾他们，然后跟先生吵怎么样，家庭不和平怎么样，你还是继续为了小孩而活下来嘛，懂吗？继续下去了，也是这样。我对你们就跟对自己的小孩一样，没有两样的。对狗也是一样，我跟他们说，我既然不是你妈妈，不过我爱你，跟你妈妈一样，所以他们很信任师父了，信任。确实，哇，最后了，不晓得这么晚会不会有效？本来早上中午以前要吃3次，结果忙东忙西，忘记了。是有3点了，快3点了，不可能了。是的，这个本来是下午的，是第2餐的，结果这个早上还没吃完。Oh my God， 就是这样。我不是不乖，就是忘记了，然后忙东忙西然后就放在那里。我已经带来了，还忘记，何况有没有？有很多事情呢，他要你处理，没办法。OK 了，有没有新的人来？要问什么东西？在那边什么都会有了，有回答了，是吧？
就是请师父帮我们跟师父通道连线。
你为什么不连？
线断了。
为什么断？原因？
为什么断掉？西湖道场把我们断掉的，没有原因。
不可能的。
9年半了。
大概你给人家摸到，或是相信别人，或是相信那些说他已经上师父，然后
没有，
等等，
我是师父的徒弟。
这不对的东西。
没有。
我怎么能够证明呢？
我带着证明过来的。
带什么证明？
写信给他们，他们不理我们。
给谁？
西湖道场。
写信给什么？做什么？
要求跟他们连线，他们把师父所有的消息给我断掉了。我就靠无上师电视台，我们一起跟着这个电视台修行。很伤心，很伤心，师父。
好，不会的，不会断掉的。我们内线不会断，外面断没关系 ，OK？ 因为你大概写太多了，他们不想回答 ，OK？ 好了，
谢谢。
内线不会断的，就外线不要写那么多啰嗦干什么？那边都有答案 ，OK？你专心就会拿到答案了。
谢谢。
最安全就是那边沟通，不要外面，不管他 ，OK？ 好。 好，还有什么人内线断掉吗？我们那边都沟通不会断的了，除了你们跟师父断。比方说你们认为某某人真的是已经得到了，然后来给他摸头摸脚什么呢？给他听啊，来给他听经什么的，跟他沟通了，懂不懂？那师父觉得，那你不需要我就离开了，哪有人不欢迎也要急着进来呢？啊，很多人呢，大陆啊，跟师父抱怨说，被那个某某的永久什么师父摸到，然后就没光了。我说你自己家的事情，我也不管他了。我已经讲过不要给别人摸嘛，是吗？有一个师父要专心跟他修行就行了。那你不听话的话，那怎么办呢？啊，我不能勉强 ，OK， 不能勉强。跟师父很诚心修行，有时候还被调来调去，何况呢？何况自己调呢？啊，何况自己不想跟着他，那走别路当然看不到啊。啊，我就去北方，你去南方啊，我怎么强迫你回来？也不要在那边等你啊，还有别人又跟着 ，OK 哈？我从来不会骗你们，说你们不要骗我了。我要去找别的什么名事啊，然后什么都失掉了，那个新印心的人可以来坐在中间这里好了，在这个中间走廊这边，然后等一下要出来的时候，他们先出来让路 ，OK？ 多少人呢？如果行就给到前面这边坐好了，来。让他前面这边有一点空间，有一些从那边进来，有一些从这边进去 ，OK， 欢迎哈，都好吗？也 OK， 中文 Vietnamese， how many Vietnamese today got initiated? New ones? No, not you, the new ones. 新的。Mấy người mới truyền tâm ấn, giơ tay coi. Mấy người Việt Nam mới truyền tâm ấn đó. Ok, rồi. Bây giờ nghe bằng tiếng gì? Tiếng Việt hả? Không có cái đây hả? Người nào có cái máy thì đưa lên. Nghe. Chứ tôi ngồi đây không có nói 3-4 thứ tiếng được. Đó, khang tiếng hết rồi. Thôi không sao đâu, không có gì. Ok, ngồi dòm chút được rồi hả? Thấy không? Còn ở lại không? Còn ở lại. Người nào bữa nay về hả? Hả? Có người nào bữa nay truyền tâm ấn xong đi về liền hả? Ở đây còn lâu. Ok rồi. Người nào không có máy thì giơ tay lên, người ta đem lại cho. Okay, because of the new people, I have to stay for a few minutes. Okay, you guys, good, yeah. I will sit here and meditate with you for a while, and then we will go. 我在这边跟你们坐一坐，然后我要走了啊。我有工作，很多工作要做，坐下，打坐。nhắm mắt lại ngồi thiền. What did I say before? Oh, lacking love in your heart results in many different things, many wrongdoings in your life. Because love is a beacon light of a true human heart. If you don't have that, it's like you're groping around in darkness. So of course, you will stumble and fall often. Many children who have a broken family, or abnormal family, or abusive family, alcoholic family, divorced family, drug family, they grow up devoid of love. And many have become bad elements of society. The root is very deep. When you were young, if you didn't have any good example to follow, a good like anchor for you to hold on to. Then you just drift around, and then you just park anywhere, any dark water, any dangerous area of the sea, and you don't know how to control it. You don't know how to control the boat if you don't have an anchor. Society gives you a lot of education just to have a PhD, like me, for example, but they don't teach you anything more than that. And even if they teach you some philosophy or some religious theory, it's only repeating sentences, fragments of intellectual language understanding, but nothing more than that. You understand that the word God means, okay, somebody very high, somebody who has power, but you don't really know what God is, yeah? And then anybody comes and tells you, okay, God is here, I will show you, you repeat this, you bow to these statues, then you will be connected with God. It's not like that, is it? You know, right? You know that all your life you've been bowing a lot and nothing happened. Don't even hear what God says or see what kind of symbol of God there are. Nothing. And the less we see God, the less love we have in our soul, in our heart. And the less love we have, the more chance that we stumble and fall. And then society will catch us and put us somewhere dark, confined, devoid of more love, even less love than before. Then people begin to get angry, at society. And then even if after prison term they come out, they never repent. They go back and revenge, make it worse than before, because they had lost faith in humans. Whatever faith he or she had in God before is probably lost already. That's why I feel sorry for humans. Because I also have to take up this body to understand humans, believe me. How can a rich person who lives in a palace every day, every night, and has everything he needs, understand a homeless man on the street? Maybe he understands the concept, but he doesn't know the true meaning of homelessness. He has never been homeless. He has never had to sleep on the cold concrete in a deserted corner of the town where everybody else either shuns you, avoids you, or abuses you, or makes trouble for you. For the king, it's very difficult to understand that, or for the rich man, difficult to understand that. So I was very happy to learn that many of the billionaires of our time have put money together or have dedicated part of their money, a big part of their money, or half of their possessions in order to help others. Yes, but he does that because he has money. It's not necessarily that all of them, the donors, understand the suffering of the victims of the person he wants to help. But if he helps, that's enough already. It's very good. We don't expect him to go out or to sleep on the street in the cold night without a blanket, without a lot of clothes, in order to understand the homeless. We don't expect that. If he helps, because somebody else told him that homeless people suffer. They get cold, they get sick, nobody takes care of them, no medicine, no food. They understand that concept somehow, then it's already very good. Then they begin to help, with whatever they have. Because let's face it, they have so much money, easily earned. If they die, they can't take it with them. Even if their children inherit all that money, what would they do with it? Many people become drug addicts, alcoholics, because they have too much money, and then they have whatever they want, and they get bored. So sometimes they try drugs, they try alcohol, then they get hooked on it. And then they get more depressed and more bored, and more drinking, more smoking, more drugging, and then their lives ruined. Yeah. It's like that. The poor people are difficult to get addicted. They don't have money to buy to begin with. And the drug people, they also want to make money. See, they don't go to seduce the poor children. Yeah. Therefore, being poor is not always the worst situation, but being rich maybe. Maybe you have to watch it, because you never know who your friends are, right? You never know. Everybody comes, talks sweet to you, and then you fall into their trap. And when you trust them, they lure you into some kind of dark life, low life that you never dreamed you would have fallen into. So if you have money, I advise you, give it away. Give some away at least. Give it to some charitable organization that you trust. Or go out, give to the poor people who you yourself believe really need. Or hire somebody to come with you, buy things to help the poor people. Help the people who need medicine. I don't tell you I'm better than anyone. The medicine, I complain, terrible. Yeah. Sometimes I scold myself. Imagine many people would die to get my medicine. If they could, but they don't have a chance to get it. Even how bitter it is, if it cures the disease, they would be willing to take that bitter pill immediately. And here I am with so many doctors taking care of me. And I say, oh, this medicine is too bitter, I don't like it. I say that, but I still take it, I should be more grateful. And I know that also, but of course I'm grateful. I thank them, of course. But when it touches my tongue and I forget, I forget that other people suffer and don't have the chance to take medicine the way I do. They don't even see a doctor in their whole life. You see? Of course, when I have time, I reflect on that and I change. It's just the human mind that reacts that way, yeah? But that doesn't mean that I don't know it's bad, okay? Yeah, you did that to me many times, all of you, so I vented sometimes. So you get the same pill. See that? Huh? Everybody comes to me and tell me about their problems. How about my problem? Huh? I also have the same human body, yeah? Okay? I have a lot of lousy helpers. Don't complain to me about your husband and wife. You chose your husband. You chose your wife. If you have problems, it's not my problem. Got that? Huh? So I also told you I'm stupid. I chose this job. And I work overtime. I overdo my job. If I just did like those gurus, famous gurus, I go very high. They have higher, much higher days. They say a few words or something and that's it. You don't have a chance to see them. Not so close. Maybe some, I don't know. Mostly not. Huh? Okay. Every Sunday, go to a big temple. Yeah, built with precious substances. And I'm living in a little wooden house and very grateful already. I keep thanking Kao so many times because that house is built the way I like. It just, logically, useful, you know. It's nothing to be envied, just a wooden house, okay? And the ants profited from that many times, more than I did. I just came and lived here just, this is the second time or third time. I don't know for how long. This time is longer than last, up to now, but mostly the ants eat it. And then they have to build it again, because they did not protect the wood very well last time. In the beginning, they say they built only a small room, one room, you know, with a little kitchen. And later the ants helped them to demolish it. And then they built again, and it began to get a little bigger. I guess Kaohsiung learned their lesson. If you build 3 rooms, and if the ants eat 1 room, master still has 2 rooms. You know, in case, and if the ants eat again another room, she still has a roof over her head until we think of how to deal with it. I guess they learn very fast. And they gave me everything I need, unconditionally. You have to know that. Because I didn't even dream that I would come here. I have Sihu, and I have Europe. I have places everywhere before. I can have any house until the disciples come. And then I won't have it. Either they take it over for me, or something happens because of their karma, then I have to leave anyway. So I'm lucky to have any house that I don't have to take care of. They built it for me already, I think 19 years ago, right? 高雄19年以前盖这个房子是吗？19年和19年？没人知道。I haven't been here because I often go to Sihu's group meditation. I don't go to different small groups like in the beginning of my mission. So the ants demolish it and they build again, you know, a little bigger. I have one kitchen, and the kitchen is very tight, you know. It's like a corridor, and they put a gas stove over it, and you can just stand there, turn around, and go straight to the other room. You get that? Well, it's enough. Normally, I don't cook a lot anyway. If I'm alone, I just cook like one pot of rice and leave it there. Make a chap suey or something and eat it for many days. Or a soup. It depends on what I have. Or just brown rice, sesame, and fruit, if I have. If I don't have fruit, I don't eat fruit either. What you don't have? You just? What? Don't eat. Correct. How do you know? How do you know everything? Whatever I have, I use. If I don't have, I don't use. That's very wise, no? Huh? What do you think? Yes. I'm worthy of being your master, no? Correct? Yes. They don't know language. A channel? What channel? For the Vietnamese?
104.1.
104 and 0.1. Oh God. All right. 104.1. Hiểu chưa? Hiểu không? Biểu rồi, học tiếng Anh không chịu học. Hả? I told every one of you more than 10 years ago, learn English, no? No, nobody learned. Too busy getting married, making children, huh? And earning money. Don't care what master says, it doesn't matter. English is so easy to learn, more easy than even your own language. I don't see any other language more easy than English. Huh? Very simple. And I don't speak like high level English. I speak very plain English so that everyone understands. The same in Vietnamese, the same in Chinese. Even in my poetry, I don't try to make it flowery so that people think I am educated. I make poetry that goes straight to the heart when you listen. I don't make it for show. I explain the heart's feeling to another person's heart's feeling. So it's very simple. Simple language, like simple life, is the best. Because sometimes you read a book, a philosophical book or something, you read the whole page and you don't understand what it is getting at. Yeah, it's like that. They talk a lot. I don't know how they can write so many words for nothing. Wasting time to think, to write it down, wasting people's time to print it. But there's one good point about that. At least to give employment to the printing company and the bookshop. And it helps some people who have nothing better to do. They read that book again and again, passing the time. It's helpful in some way. Sorry, I take back my criticism before. It's helpful. If you write nonsense or anything, just write it. It helps somebody to have employment, somebody to pass the time. Even if they don't understand, they buy them, put them on the bookshelf. Big names, you know. Wow. The less they understand, the more valuable the book. Because nobody can say anything to criticize it. Nobody understands anything about it. So it must be something extraordinary. That means it's absolutely outside of humans' understanding. So it's something very special. So you see, it's a very funny world we live in. Huh? Something simple, they think is complicated. Something very complicated, they say, wow, that is a good thing. They worship it, you know what I mean? Yeah, it's funny sometimes. Sometimes I look at the world with different eyes, and I feel the world is really a funny place. Many things are simple, but no one understands them. And many things are complicated. I don't know if they understand or they just say they understand, but they like it. That's why the world is in the stage it is right now. Because we complicate our life. We waste our time on things that are not really important. Many times I've seen the way people do things. I wonder why they do it that way. Run around. Just like sometimes you people ask me questions. You don't go directly to the point. Run around in a circle until I had it. And I say stop. Because I don't know what's the point. Even if you sit there listening until tomorrow, you still won't know what he wants to ask. What is the question? You know, what's important? But this world's like this. No wonder not a lot of people are enlightened. And not a lot of masters would like to come here to teach. Remember, if you read the autobiography of Yogananda, his master, she used this word, ascended to another world, and heavens assigned him to be the teacher in the astral world, remember? Yes. And then he said to Yogananda, because I have been kind of good in the world, so now I'm able to teach somewhere better, where the beings understand better, more elevated in spiritual knowledge. Remember that? Yes. Did you read the book?
Yes.
No, I guess just a handful of people read it. If you forgot that part, you go back and read again. Even just an astral world, just one step beyond our world. The master of Yogananda was already appreciative of the beings there, intelligence, and common sense or spiritual elevation. One step more. But mind you, the astral world has more than 100 different levels. So maybe he was assigned to teach at the highest level, you know, like almost at the border of the second level. So of course they have more spiritual understanding than the humans here. They just don't have the body like we have. This body also affords us many things. A lot of pleasure, a lot of pain, a lot of different experiences, not necessarily good or bad, just different experiences. But for that, we suffer a lot. In this world, not everybody can claim that he's been the happiest man all his life, or the happiest woman, all her life. Until the moment you leave this world, then maybe that's the happiest moment. But for most people, it's not. Most people, they think dying is a terrible thing because they're not prepared. I am preparing you, you see, for the time of departure, because then you're so used to it already, and maybe you're looking forward more or less to that time. And mostly Master tells you in advance, so you take care of everything before you leave, so nothing bothers your mind at the time of departure. Because if one thing still bothers you, if one thing still gets your attention and your desire, then you'll come back. Not necessarily as a human being. Could be a worm. Could be anything as long as you can satisfy your desire. So don't desire anything before you die. If you like to eat some apples, for God's sake, eat it. Eat 10 if you want to, and then go with ease. If you still want to eat an apple the moment you exit, then maybe you have to come back. Not as a human, not even as a vendor of apples, but as a worm inside an apple to eat. Eat all day. Until you're fed up, then maybe you'll be reborn again as a bigger worm to eat bigger apples or more apples. Who knows? Therefore, practice this meditation slowly, or your desires will leave you. You don't have to cut off the desires suddenly, except the ones that are harmful to you, like alcohol, drugs, meat, fish, animal people, products, intoxicant products. Otherwise, you don't have to cut everything else suddenly. You can do it gradually, okay? Every other thing, except the things that are harmful to your spiritual practice. And excuse me, many people ask me this question: is sexual activity harmful to spiritual practice? Tell me, is it or is it not? Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes. Do you know why? Huh? You know it is, but because the masters say so. But do you know why?
Attachment?
No. No, people sometimes they don't love the person, so they don't attach to that person. What? Nobody knows yet? Okay. That action, that activity stops the flow of the spiritual influx, okay? And channels it out instead of keeping it inside. Got that? The moment something comes out of your body, in that moment, some of your spiritual influx is stopped, obstructed right there, and go out with it. Got that? So many saintly people, they are not married. They don't get married. Or they married before being a master, and then they gradually quit. Understand? It's the biggest loss for spiritual influx in that single act of pleasure. But don't fear a lot, because if you married, mostly after a long time, this kind of sexual desire wears off. So St. Paul in the Bible, he say, it's better to be single, like me, meaning him. But if you cannot, then okay, you get married. But temper your desire. Yeah. Luckily, mostly married people, after they're married, they will be busy, building a house together, taking care of the home, having children, a lot of work. So they exhaust their brain power of desire. So mostly after getting married, you kind of taper off, and slowly you will gradually have no more time for that. One time, one of the monks asked me what he can do, because he was a monk long time ago, many years ago. But at that time, I was still very shy, so I told them to edit that part. At that time, I was young. Even to mention the word sex, I could not. Yeah, really. The first time they asked me that question, I mustered all my courage to answer it in plain language, but still very shy inside, even though I didn't look it. Many times, people, the disciples or non-disciples, ask me that question. I answer, and then I told them, cut it off. Nobody wants to know this kind of thing. Nobody needs it. But many people need. As the years roll by, I understand that humans really still need to ask that question and still need an answer. So today, I answer you. I don't feel that shy anymore. Too old now, I guess. Got used to the word. I'm telling you this in case you still want to know, okay? Because that kind of action, it seems harmless, yeah? It seems like it gives you only pleasure. But it is, in a way, detrimental to your spiritual practice. If you indulge too much in it, you will lose a lot of spiritual points. And you'll have to earn a lot back again, huh? That is really why many scriptures tell people to be moderate with sexual activity. And they advise you, or the masters advise you also, better not to have this physical contact, okay? Intimate contact before marriage. Like that, you're stuck with your partner no matter what. And then you will be learning to help each other more and be more friends. Because you don't have any choice, any other thing to compare with, better or worse, good or not good. You just stuck together, and that's good for you. If you have good intimacy with your partner, well, okay, enjoy it while it lasts. If you don't, even better for you. You see what I mean? That's why they advise you not to have physical, intimate contact with your partner before marriage. Well, of course, I didn't know all that. Please don't think I knew all that before, okay? I just knew it as the years of practice, as I learned more from heaven. Because when I'm in this body, borrow or not borrow, I still have to stay in it. And I still have to suffer like everyone else. I have to learn different things, okay? But many things I don't learn from humans' world, except the emotional up and down, or the suffering, physical, mental, that I have to experience also through the body. But other knowledge, like that one, I told you, between husband and wife, and physical intimacy, that I did not learn from human words. Nobody would teach you that. I bet you many masters, even 5th level masters, who told you, take it easy with your wife or husband's sexual activity. I bet you they also don't know why. They probably listened to their master before that, and their master listened to their master before that. You don't believe me? You go ask them. Don't show them this video first, okay? Go ask them first. See how they answer you. It's not like that. They probably say, oh, this is mundane stuff. You know, it's lowly, so it's not saintly, it's not holy. You know, you should respect the other human beings like your mother, your sister, or your brother, or your father, etc., etc., etc. And of course, your brain doesn't like to listen to that. Your mind doesn't believe all that. Your mind cannot be convinced because it's not true. Of course, surely you should respect everyone because any of your acquaintances, friends, or even animals, people have one way or another been your friends or your mother, father, sister, and brother in countless lifetimes. Even Buddha had many fathers and mothers. Remember that? Because he's the one who can see the past and the future. Not every master can see that. And also not many masters can learn directly from heaven, the knowledge from heaven. This is not the highest heaven knowledge. Understand this? Just the simple knowledge within the shadow world. But not many masters have access to that. Have you ever heard that explained to you before? In any other school? Any Bible? Yes or no? No. Yeah, okay. Yeah, that's why I'm telling you. Many things I tell you, I learned from the heavens, your heavens, okay? My heaven is not, not there. Your heavens, even the highest one, is not even the beginning of my heavens. Understand? But this kind of small knowledge is not from the original universe, okay? It's from the lower universe. And if you can access that, you will learn many things. Many things I also don't want to tell you. Because I'm worried you will abuse it. You better just listen to what I say, the don'ts or do's, okay? That is that. Because you will abuse it. Look at this, it's a proof for the most heinous abuse that any spiritual world would not be able to imagine. Writing the names of the heavenly abode for your trousers, your shirt, and whatever, and mix it together with baby nappies or your monthly menstrual underwear. Maybe God doesn't mind, but the lower gods will mind. They count everything wrong you do and make excuses to punish you, to take away your spiritual merit, to take away the connection with you, the collective merit. So many things I am afraid to tell you. For example, people who drink alcohol, I'm not telling you what, I'm just telling you an example. This is true, but I'm not telling you the remedy because I'm worried you will abuse it. If somebody drinks alcohol, for example, if I have to drink alcohol for any reason at all that you can think of, I could dilute the alcohol effect. I could nullify it by simple material, something from this world only. Don't have to go to even astral level to cure the alcohol effect and damage to your body and other spiritual concerns. Everybody tells you alcohol is bad for you, don't drink. That you know. Because you get drunk, you damage your nerves, your brain, and if you're older, the damaged brain tissue doesn't grow back. You know that. Everybody knows or not? Yeah? Well, if you do research, you know. So some people are stupid. They are young and they say they drink now because their brain tissue still can grow back. I told them when I saw it, I saw a couple of them in a bar or something. I say, wait until your brain grows back. You are already addicted and you can't change. And you just falling through the pit, going this way down all the time. Because he thinks he's young. He can drink it now, enjoy, and then he'll quit later when he's older, when his brain tissue has no chance to renew itself. But by that time, he's stuck already, no? Everybody understands, right? Yes. Cigarettes, alcohol, drugs, stick with you all your life and just get worse all the time. The more you drink, the more you want. The more you take drugs, the more you crave. The more you smoke, the less you can quit. So many young people are being cheated into this situation. But as I told you before, people are craving for love. And because of a lack of love within themselves and without themselves, people do many wrong things. And children nowadays don't have enough good guidance, don't have enough good examples from adults to follow and to anchor themselves in good behavior or good practice or good knowledge. Yeah. Now, I want to tell you one more thing about alcohol. Alcohol not only damages your tissues of the brain, not only damages your heart or your blood vessels, your body functions in general. Not only that. Guess what else alcohol can ruin? Tell me. Social behavior, family. Huh? Louder. The soul. Spiritual. Spiritual what? Spiritual life. What? Connection. Okay, that also. But if you retard it in some way, then everything else follows and falls down with you. You don't think of spiritual practice anymore. But the most striking and easy, the lowest one that they can damage in you, besides the body, is your psychic power. If you had psychic power before, for example, if you can know the past, the present, or you can see something in people, or you can read their minds or something like that, or you can guess if that person is going to harm you or not harm you, it will be ruined. You will not be able to feel that anymore if you keep drinking alcohol. Your psychic power will be ruined, will be damaged, will be taken away from you. So your intuition will be, blinded. It's like a person who has eyes and slowly or quickly his or her eyes are taken away. Either gradually or immediately, it depends on how weak his eyes already are. So if you don't have big psychic power, then immediately you have none. You have very little, then it will be cut off right away. The first moment your lips touch alcohol. If you have a lot of psychic power due to your maybe previous practice, or you were born from a little higher level before this world, then it will be also taken away some or completely. It depends on how much you drink. So many masters don't explain this to you. Everybody just repeats from each other saying, okay, alcohol is bad for you, okay, and waste your money, damages your body, ruin your brain power, tissues, damage, all that. And social behavior, spiritually not good connection, but it's just a very vague explanation. Of course, if you drink alcohol, anybody knows this doesn't agree with spiritual practice, no? Yeah. Then it's easy to guess that. But really, it damages many things. Psychic power, you need. You need. Your intuition is your guardian. It will tell you about danger ahead, even though you don't even know why you suddenly don't want to drive there. Or suddenly you want to check your car exhaust. Suddenly you want to check the brakes, even though you have just had them repaired. Suddenly you don't want to talk to that person anymore. Suddenly you don't want to contact this and that person. This is your intuition voice guiding you in your life, especially after initiation and taking the 5 precepts. Your intuition is getting sharper and sharper all the time to protect you. And this intuition is also necessary so that heaven can contact you. It's like a channel for protection, for message. You see, even sometimes the angels want to tell you things, but you're blocked because of alcohol and drugs. So the channel is blocked. Even if the channel is not blocked, you don't understand a thing that they're saying. Your intuition doesn't get it. Yeah. Even myself, sometimes heaven gives me some messages. I have to take time, quiet down, and to sort it out, okay, the email. But it is because I have psychic power. If that is damaged, I could never. I bet you many of the masters in the past have been killed or tortured, including myself in my past lives, because they had not enough psychic power, not enough intuitive power to connect with heaven, to hear their warnings, to receive the messages of warnings. Many times I did not, and I ran into trouble. Many times I didn't sort out the messages on time. I ran into trouble. Well, luckily, those many times were not that life-threatening. Otherwise, I would not be sitting here. So even if you have psychic power, before I could contact heaven, I just knew something, but I didn't even know who gave it to me. Nowadays, I know which God, from which region of the original and beyond, give me that message. So I asked that God directly. It's better than sorting it out myself. But even then, sometimes, because of the karma, not my karma, other people's karma, it even blurs it out, and it takes me some really good time to get connected again with this God to us. But I have other information sources. If I couldn't contact that higher possible God, in my journey at that time, I don't mean the highest, meaning God Almighty yet, okay? The highest that I can contact at this time, beyond Yosker. Then I could ask a lower God. Not lower, but a different God, more connected with my dimension. Yeah, when I can. But last time I told you I lost 62% spiritual power. Oh, that was really, really almost like hell, I tell you. I could not contact anyone. Could not. Not even the lower God. And I contacted the shadow world. They couldn't hear me because they're too low. I'm too high. Understand? And I'm too high but too low for the higher gods. Oh, that was really suffering a lot. And many things happened. Like people even sneaking into my private quarters in Seoul many times. I told you already. Luckily, I'm always alert and call people to come up and they left before that. She who easy to hide so many, trees and bushes and corners. Yeah. Last time, one dog person, the smallest and troublemaking one, she always go out and hide in some bushes. And only she went away and, we had the whole working office, man, woman, went out looking for her, cannot see her. Until one of the caretakers, she used to be with her, and she saw some little moving leaves in one of the bushes. And she knew that's her, because all the leaves around didn't move. Only that little corner, the leaves moved, and there was no wind. So she went in there and got her out. But it was difficult also, difficult. We had to talk to her for a long time, to coax her to come out, give her some nice stuff, promise some good vegetable, stuff like that, to tell her sweet things. Sometimes it takes half an hour. And then she comes out waking tail a little bit, licking your toes or your hand, and then, okay, whoop, immediately, you got to take her quick. Otherwise, she's just being nice and they go back inside, hide again, Have to be very quick, because she's very, very quick. She's been running all her life during her 3 years of growing. So she runs faster than anyone. I bet she can win marathons more than any of the human champions to date. If the Olympics allowed a dog person to run in a marathon, I will let her win. I think she will win triple gold medals, not just one, because nobody ever ran that fast in our history of the Olympics, I'm sure.
What was the reason?
What was the reason?
Why did she run?
She's afraid of humans. She lost all her friends, her mother, father, due to people killing them. And her mother told her, don't trust any human. So she always runs away from humans. Now she doesn't. But if you let him out, sometimes she tries to hide. But she comes out now, better than before. Before she didn't come out, you didn't know where she was. That's why I fenced it all in, okay? She's afraid of humans. We are that wicked. We are that horrible, terrifying to all beings, not just that little dog person. Wow, she's so quick and slippery, Even if you catch her again, she could just run away from you. Before, the mother, the mother who I adopted ran also that quick. And even 2 meter high fence, she just put her paw in between the hole and jumps out quickly. Took a long time to catch her. And later she came in by herself, knocking on my door. Told you already, okay? But this one, she's older. You see, the mother was only 1 year old. But this one's 3 years old. And she looks like a puppy. And I thought she belonged to the group of those puppies. So also very hard to catch her. And I had to pay 30,000 Thai baht as reward. Finally, they caught her when she was near death already. She was having high fever, and she hadn't been showing up for 2-3 days, not eating anything, not drinking anything. And that day, she came out. So she ran right into the trap, was probably hungry or thirsty because of fever. So she went into the big cage that they built for her as a trap. So they got her. And then I asked them to keep her until I sent a driver. And when the driver came, she was very weak already with high fever, So we called emergency doctor right away, the same doctor that had treated all my dog people, or the adopted dog people. And he gave her medicine and all that temporarily. But when we took her back to where I live, it was an hour from Bangkok. I had to bring her to the hospital. And they kept her for, I think, 2 weeks. And she got better because she began to show symptoms of very bad. She had diarrhea every day and very high fever. So the doctor kept her. Luckily, she survived. My God, that girl, she's a survivor. She'd been sick all that and hungry and ate all kinds of garbage outside. still survive and now is healthy, barking the loudest of the group. If you don't believe me, you walk near her and then you will hear it. She will show herself who's the mightiest in the house. Why? Oh, could you ask me that question? Is she afraid of humans? She's not afraid of all humans now, but she's still afraid of most humans. She only trusts us, the close circle who takes care of her every day. She eats from my hand. She lets me pet her and hug her, carry her around. So mostly I tell the attendant to try to carry her around. So she got used to it now. She will let us carry her. Yeah, on a good day. She still runs to her cage and hide it first. Then we have to coax her out with sweet potatoes, durian, it's goodie stuff, veggie green bones. Yeah. Then she comes out slowly, and snatches. She goes back inside again. And then we give it outside, and then she has to come out. She got one taste of it, and she wanted to eat the whole durian. Yeah, expensive homeless dog person, very. Because even in Thailand or Vietnam, ordinary people don't get to eat durian the whole like that. If you have money, yes, but even in those countries, I remember when I was a kid, one durian that shared with the whole family, everybody one piece, you know. If they have, there's sometimes less. Because even in those countries, they are expensive for the majority of people. Yeah, they are luxury. But my dog, small size like this, like the size of Shih Tzu or Maltese, small Maltese, can eat the whole durian all by herself without stopping. And if you have durian, you're her friend, at least until the durian's finished. And then she has no moral, no qualm to just say goodbye till next durian. Even me, you know, she eats it all and then she just wags her tail, goes into her cage until next time for maybe sweet potatoes or her favorite toys also. Wow, 3 years old already. Goes and takes all the toys from everybody, stacks them in her cage, licking them one by one, making sure that they are marked by her own saliva, you know. And she will recognize them next time. Whoever takes it, she takes it back in due time. She doesn't fight, but she sneakily goes, and when that person sleeps, she takes the toys back, one by one, stacks them at the back of her cage, her den, you know, whatever little quarter wall she has. And she took my shoes also, my slippers she loves. So if I go away, I have to bribe her. I give her one of my slippers. I say, I will come back. You'll watch it for me until I come. Oh, very happily. Gather it into her cage, leaves it there. Doesn't do anything, just every day looks at it. Oh, licks a little bit and leaves it aside. Yeah. Her cage was full of things before. Now we don't have a lot of slippers hanging around, but before she collected them, you know. I gave her already one to play with. No, she took the other one also. And if you're not careful and you come to my house and leave your slippers, she also welcomes those into her own cage, you know. Yeah, and toys and whatever she can take, she brings to her things, her world, her possessions. When she was still wild, I gave her food and drink, you know. Over there, so difficult to buy stainless steel, so we're limited. We have some plastic things outside, you know, for food. It doesn't matter, just cold, dry food or some snacks that I give. She took the whole thing, ran to her mountain up there. One day I went up to the highest peak of the low mountain. I saw all the evidence of the crime. The missing toys, the missing bowl, the plastic cups, the sticks, whatever, in my yard, anything. And one of the Korean nuns was crying. One day, she looked like crying with no tears. I said, what's wrong? They took away everything. We have nothing now. I said, what everything? The bowl for the dog. I said, that's not everything. She said, yes, but yesterday another thing. I said, it's still not everything. You're crying and lamenting like your mother died or something. It's not the behavior of a nun. So she stopped. Your nun is supposed to be looking at everything like zero, right? What kind of face is that? So miserable. I said, come everybody, look. Monks, look. I told all the householders, come and look at her. She lost one dog bone. Look at her face and her expression. And she felt embarrassed and she didn't complain anymore. But that didn't mean the dog did not continue to take the stuff and bring it up to her quarter. The high peak of the mountain, that's where she runs to every time any human goes near or wants to catch her. Because she runs so fast and goes up. And the mountain, the hill, it's not easy to go up. But for her, the dog is so easy. She has her own highway, number 70, 70 miles an hour. She goes up. And no police can catch her. She drives without driver's license, but she gets away with it. And nobody can catch her. So we have to use that method, The Thai people, they thought about it because they couldn't do anything. Because I forbade the use of drugs. I forbade the use of sleeping, sedation, syringe. I forbade drugging her. I forbade any net thrown on top of her, or of any dog they wanted to catch. The mother also. That's why for so long a time they couldn't catch her. Because before I arrived, they gave her sedation, but they could never catch her. She went somewhere else to sleep. She's not stupid to sleep right there for you to catch her. They wanted to castrate her, but they could not catch her. So next time the doctor also wanted to do the same, giving her the injection. Before I heard that story, I let him, because he said he could always catch her. This doctor told me like that. He just gives one injection, then the dog person runs around and then sleeps, and he will catch it in no time. I allow him. But she didn't come back. She went somewhere far away, then sleep. Next day came back again, business as usual, looking if any food, go eat, run fast. Eat and run, eat and look, eat and look, eat and run, eat and run. And next time, I say, doctor, still cannot catch her. He said, just give me one more chance. I will give her a stronger sedation. I said, no. I heard a neighbor saying that before you gave her the injection and she did not sleep when you wanted to castrate her. This time, in my presence, you gave her another one. She also did not come back. If you give her one more time, what if she cannot come back? You see, look at her. She's just skin and bones and has to take care of 9 babies without enough food already. You see, the neighbor didn't give her enough food. So she was so skinny already and so scared, so stressed out because all her friends were poisoned and they were waiting to poison her next. And so stressed out, scared already that she wanted to move the babies far away, 2 kilometers away. She moved 2 babies. Luckily, I found one back, but the other one, I couldn't find it until I gave a reward, but I couldn't find it until I think 10 or 15 days later, and we couldn't help him. He had distemper, and he died soon after. 2 weeks afterward, with all my care and with all the doctors coming to my house every day. I could not save him. So I say, she's already stressed out, no? If I didn't take all her babies into my house, she would have taken them one by the neck and brought them away already. So she's very weak. undernourished, stressed out, and scared. If you give her one more injection, can you guarantee me that she will come back? And come back well, healthy, alive or not? I don't want to put your conscience on this. So I didn't allow the doctor to give her any injections anymore. I say, I think of the way. And I put up a reward, like 10,000, 20,000, going up all the time until 30,000. Anybody who catches her will get that. And one Korean man got it, believe it or not. This Korean guy, a young boy, he even had no dogs at home, has nothing to do with dogs. He just saw me and the girl trying so hard to catch. He just jumped in and helped. He was taller and he was faster somehow. He was maybe a footballer or something fast. She was already almost at the top of the fence. He got the big basket and he got And I really had to give him that money, even though he didn't want it. I said, a promise is a promise. Maybe God wants you to have it. So incidentally, you come here, I have to give you the money, no matter what you want to do with it. It's not my problem. So finally, he had to get it. Because I asked his group, the other whole group of Korean men, they didn't come in. They pretended they didn't understand why, what for, and blah, blah. Just he came in, and he understood English. So he got chat, and then he got the money. But this little one, I never allow anybody. I say, if I detect any harm to her, even 2 or 3 hairs are lost due to harassment, or I detect any drug in her body afterward. I have doctors who can detect that. I frighten them. I scare them. Then I will sue you. I will make the police put you in jail. Got that? Okay? I have power, believe me. I have connections. I have nothing. I have connection for sure in heaven. I have power, sure. Master power. But they didn't know that. And I didn't tell lies. So they didn't do anything like that. And they knew I love dogs. But just in case they wanted a quick result and then harass the dog. So they didn't do it. They put a big cage, like a trap. Because small cage, she would know. She won't go in. Even then, she watched them. For 3 days, she didn't come. Until she got sick and cold, because it was winter also. So she got fever, hungry, thirsty, went there, and then pop, they got her. And they chained her with a lock and didn't give me the keys. When I got her, she was locked here, with the chain together. And I said, why did you do that? I said, because we gave her normal, color. But she bit them off, many of them. So we had to put a chain, iron chain around her and lock it. And didn't give me the keys. Believe that? My driver came and they just sent the dog. Probably the dog was sick and we sent her to the doctor right away and didn't think about that. The driver didn't get the key. Imagine the dog, hard to catch, cannot even touch, cannot even go near. And the chain, very tight on her neck. I was worried sick. How can we get her now to unchain her even? Oh my God. They had many men. They just put a towel on her or something and they changed it. So we had to think of a way. And then somebody just got hold of her. Oh, she tried to bite everybody. 4 of the helpers got bitten and had to go get injections in case of rabies. 4 of them beat them. Because at that time, we had just caught her. And the doctor says she was still too weak to get a rabies injection or any other injection. So she was weak like that, but still beat very well. I had to send them to the hospital many times to finish the course of injections. They're still alive, don't worry. Yeah, still okay. It was lucky if other people, if she had bitten all like that, she would be done, put to sleep right away. Any country would be the same. If they know any dog person bites humans like that, they will put them to sleep What could I do? She's a dog person. We humans can take care of ourselves. The dog people don't know anything. And I thought she was a puppy even. And I didn't find out how old she was until much later when she was well. And the doctors have to check to give injections and for the documents. So they knew, oh, she's at least 3 years old. I said, what? Really? She looks smaller than all of the puppies that I adopted. And she's still small. It's just her size. She won't grow up. Maybe a hard life. Didn't have enough nutrition. So that's the best she can grow. And now she eats a lot. Oh, she eats more than all of the dog people together. She steals food from all of them whenever she wants. Whatever's her favorite, if she likes it, she eats all her things and goes one bowl after another, taking it all. The durian or the potatoes. The others are full and spoiled, always full. Eat sissy sassy, slow, eat like a gentleman or lady. She doesn't care, lady, gentleman, my food, I like it. I come and get what I want. And when they come back, huh? How come? Nothing left. Then I have to feed them. When she's already, her stomach is bigger than her size, lying there in Samadhi, then I feed them again, and she lets them eat. She doesn't fight with anybody, but she knows how to get what she wants. Oh, she's just like that. Sometimes she doesn't let me bring her back inside. So I have to chase her around the little yard until she's cornered. And then, okay, she knows she's done. Just sit there like a helpless puppy. Okay, now what? I said, we have to go inside, okay? Then she lets me. Otherwise, if she has enough room, she will let me chase her until the end of the other planet. She likes that. Ah, very terrible. Just one dog person, a lot of work already. I have 7 now, before 10. But I never knew dog people were like this. My dogs were easy, so I thought all dogs were the same. I was trapped into thinking all dog people were the same. They are not the same. And these are wild, really wild dogs. Oh, now I know. It's too late. I love them already. I can't change. I love all of them. Even the bad ones that bite on my doors and or the rental apartment doors. When we return it costs a lot of money. Finger wagging and yelling. I let the Hong Kong disciples deal with it. They can speak Cantonese together. I was not there, so I didn't have to listen to it. But you see, by everything, the whole big, strong doors. You know, Hong Kong, they're very safety concerned. The doors are massive, big wood, thick or something. Even if we wanted to chop it, it takes a long time. They're tender teeth. Chop them. Oh, God, whole chunks from them all came down. Before that, in Thailand, when I first adopted them, of course, I wanted to keep them all in the garage until the doctor came and checked if anyone was sick before bringing into the house. Also, the house was not mine. The house belonged to a very wealthy man disciple. Of course, he didn't mind, is what he said. But his house is on the golf course. You know? Many US dollars. That's in Thailand. If it were in another country, it would be more expensive. And would he mind if my dog people beat everything? The French door, the imported bed, the antique table, the golf club, special golf club, and the Thai carved bench. Would he mind? Ask yourself. Well, I knew I didn't say anything. I said, oh, thank you for being generous. But before I left, I fixed everything. And I built him a big veranda outside, all glass. Because originally I wanted to stay there. I wanted my dog people to see all the views. They were puppies. They had their own place, but I wanted them to see the view. And you know what? Before that, they were in the garage, okay? No, the storeroom, empty. And they beat the whole wall, 4 sides, everything that they could. The mother alone beat everything that she could jump to. It was about at least 1 meter high. All 4 corners became dust, really, all the small pieces. Inside, I think they did thin cement or something. The outside she could not bite because they made it with very tough wood. But the inside they covered with thin wood or thin cement and painted with thin cement and white. Everything came down. You could see all the bones of the structure, the wood that's inside. I don't know how she's still alive. And she was not even 1 year old at that time. She got pregnant early. Poor life. But then she beat all that because she wanted her kids to get out. The first quarantine, of course I didn't like it. There was 1 night only. Okay, fine. I had to call people in to fix all that. And before I came, I told them to fence the whole of his beautiful, open golf house garden. Golf people, they don't fence in because it overlooks the golf course. The golf course and the house garden blend together with luxurious hand manicured grass and scissor trimmed trees. Yeah, and I came with 1 dog person, okay, 1 big dog, okay, but now 10 more dog people, they were slowly taken away and died. 2 died, 3 were adopted, so I have 6 left. There were 10. 2 died, 3 were adopted, and of course I have 5 because the mother is a mother, not a puppy. Oh, she was a puppy too. And she demolished all that. I had to fix the whole storeroom. And of course the disciple goes, "Don't worry, master, it's only a garage. Don't worry, I'll fix it." I say, "I fix it because it's my responsibility." A very good gentleman, generous. The story has not ended. Of course, he let me drive his car because I just came. I didn't think I would stay long. Even if I stayed long, I just came. In a few weeks, I didn't have enough time to buy a car or anything. So he let me use his car. All right. Then the golf car, I also could drive, no problem. But when he came, he took it to drive. And some of the other disciples say, "Why? You should let master drive. Why do you take it when you are there? Then how would she drive to go shopping?" I said, "Never mind, the shop is very close. I can walk." It was not that close, but close enough, and I could walk. Maybe more than 5 minutes walk, 10 minutes walk. I didn't go to a big shop, just a local shop that sells to the golf people. I said, "I still have the big car, don't worry, fine." For my dog people originally, they use it, how long do you know? 2 days. And I had to run. Took all my dog people with me. In Thailand, not easy to buy many things. Even to buy a cage for dog people, difficult to buy. So I had to use cartons for them and cover them with blankets and cover in front with just a little gaps for them to go in and out like a door. So it was warm for them. They were babies and they were okay. Slowly they ate them all. Every day I had to go to the shop begging for new cartons. They didn't give me, they say, mostly we give it back to the shop, taking some money for it. So nobody had such cartons. They had small ones, like for Coca-Cola or something, but they didn't have the big ones. Even though my dog people were small, they needed bigger ones for space. Oh, so very difficult. You know what I had to do? I had to scrap up all these small boxes to this size, come home, cut them open, and patch them together to make a big cage, one by one. I went back in all the shops around my area, and they feel sorry for me. I said, "Please, I give you the money. Not that I'm begging you. Please, take the money. Give me whatever boxes you have." They took all the boxes from their garage, from their storeroom, even from the chicken people that they had. I said, "Oh no, if your chickens have it, I don't want it." I was worried about sickness or anything, not clean. But they took everything out. Then I took out some, lunchbox stuff, small. I said, you could use it? I said, no, it's too small. It would take me 1,000 years to pass it, to make a big box. But truly, it was very difficult for me. And without a car, it was more difficult. I haven't come to that yet. Okay, and then when I brought them inside the house, they begin to eat the furniture. The mother, first, whenever she could stay in the house, she beat everything so that she could jump out. She could not bear the confinement because she was not used to it yet. And now she still loves to be outside, and we let her run whenever we can. Like maybe 2 hours a day at least, Every time half an hour run or more. It depends on the weather. She runs until she comes back in to get in. Then okay, I let her in. Others don't want to stay out too long, coming quick, worrying Big Mama will run away. They're more worried about me running away than they cannot run away. Or that their own mama will run away. Actually, she just adopted them. She has only 3 children, black ones. Look at the ears standing up just like those that you saw in Star Wars earlier days. The ears stand up and are big. All 3 of them look the same. One died already, and the other 2 are still very active and jump from any balcony. They just jump outside. No need to lock them in the balcony. Useless. I made fence and everything. Useless. So we have to make all these ugly green fences because that's the only fence they cannot go over. But they dug underneath and still cut out. So these few days we still put cement blocks along the edge of the fence. These Kaohsiung people, I feel so sorry. And even they don't have enough manpower, so they have to engage those short-term Vietnamese. They're all working out of sweat all for my dog people. I didn't ask, but they have to do it. So all the candy and cakes in my house keep running out because I feel sorry for them. I have to bribe them somehow. Whenever I see them, I say, thank you. Oh yeah, take some food. Okay. I said, no, we are very honored to work for you, Master. I said, never mind, but thank you. So they keep supplying cakes and candy, and they keep running out. So if I don't invite you Westerners to my house anymore, for any private audience, you understand now why. I feel embarrassed to tell you, but I'm running out of courtesy, cakes and candies. You understand? I used to treat you well in Europe, remember? Because my dog people were not there. And now my dog people are here, but I have to give for their sake. Now you know, okay? All right, that's what it is. Secrets out. And then, so they kept biting everything. And I kept telling people to come repair it. We repaired what we could. And of course, there were babies. They pee on top of the carpet, on their, precious, and some of their expensive bed sheets, towels, bed mattresses. I kept replacing. A sofa mattress and sofa cushion. I hide them as far as I could. And everybody, if they came in my house, they said, why is the cushion up there? Why doesn't the sofa have any mattress? Yeah, what can I do? I cannot say my dog people eat them all, pee on them, poo on them, and they smell terrible. Every day, new sofa coming out to air, to wash. And in winter, it takes so long to dry, And I kept buying new sofa. Every day you see any sofa would have 10 holes in the mattress. Because I don't buy the wood one anymore, I'm worried. They chew and the wood pieces will hurt their teeth. So I buy those just flap over with mattress three-fold, and it becomes a sofa. And every day some holes on it, or pee on it, or anything on it. Later, I thought maybe they understood. They don't pee in their boxes. They don't poo on their mattresses. They just do it somewhere else. Okay, so I put them on the sofa to sleep with me for a while. And okay, but they have to have somewhere to relieve. I put a big piece of cloth on the corner of the room I built for them. I said, over there. And I smeared some of their own pee on it and some of their stuff on it. And I said, go, 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 go. And I brought their bones, leading them over there, and they smell. And then I did it. And from then on, they would always go there. But there was many sofas and bed sheets and bed blankets and bed mattresses later. But now when they go to new places, they do experiment the same way. Is that a sofa that I can try on? Only one or two. The rest are very good. The one, it's not necessarily that she wants to. Or sometimes they pee because it's a kind of submissive behavior, you know. And she worships the big dog people. And anytime the big dog people refuse her or growl at her, she go and pee somewhere. It could be a carpet or a sofa bed. Anything would do, as long as it's somewhere else, not in her bed. Or somebody else's bed will do. If it's not her smell, then she knows it belongs to the other guy, then she can do that. Oh, what can I do? And I love dog people, believe me or not. Huh? Yes. I cannot help it. I have nothing but love for them. Sometimes I feel maybe I love them more than I love you. Or maybe it's just an illusion. Because if I really love them more than you, I would, go rent a house somewhere, live like before with them, enjoy their love, their kisses all day. Why sit here when my voice almost even had gone on holiday? So in some way, I must love you a lot. I did many things that you can imagine that I do for you. I don't mean you individually, but you humans. Okay? Yeah. Like I would just go to hell for somebody. I would just take some poison for somebody so that that person doesn't have to take it or die because of that. Because that person would not know that he's going to be poison. That is going to be a poison for him. So if I take it, then he doesn't have to. It won't happen. Something like that. Or my car breaks down or anything, television, everything is just because of karma, the collective karma, okay? I don't have this stuff. I don't have any of these things. Okay, anyway, it's late, you go eat. So some of you have to go home. Some of you enjoy your food, meditate afterwards, okay? Take this as a New Year's Eve reunion. I won't come out again. I have lots of work waiting for me. Yeah. Don't worry about the poison stuff. I won't die. Because I can take a little bit compared to you if you have to take a lot. I'll tell you a true story. It happened just a few days ago. I just began to cough and not begin, but already they began to notice, yeah. And one of your sisters, she's a pharmacist, and she has a pharmacy company making medicine or that. She brought me some medicine to take, and she also gave me one medicine to take at night. She said, only before you sleep, master, because you take this and you don't walk around, you don't work anymore, because it will make you sleep better, at least so you don't cough. Or even if you cough, you cough in your sleep, you won't know. Something like that. It makes me sleep, okay? Like a sleeping pill. Okay? I said, okay, I promise I won't take it until I go to bed. And then before I went to bed, she said like 1 hour I can take. I took it before 1 hour. But then some work came, Supreme Master TV work, which was not supposed to come. And it was a big work to do. And no one else could decide. I had to do it. And a lot more work came. And it was interesting work also. And the whole thing that I've been waiting for so long to see if it's good or not. And then I kept working until 8 o'clock in the morning. Wow. I'm not sleeping at all. I didn't even feel sleepy. And at 8 o'clock, The dog people came. That day they were supposed to come. A one dog person came first. That day just a white dog person came first. And I have to go out and tell them what to do, where to put him, blah, 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 and where to take him, and don't bring him here. Don't make him bark for any reason. Blah, blah, and I didn't sleep at all. I continued to work, and then all the work kept coming. So the pill did not work. And your sister worried for nothing. She worried when I take that pill, I should not walk around. I may fall down because of the sleepiness, you know. I didn't sleep at all. And I carried on working the whole night and the whole next day and continued the next day until normal time to sleep, which is around 3 o'clock in the morning. Understand? So if I'm not supposed to die yet, I've been poisoned more than several times. But maybe I didn't know about it. That's why I didn't die. If I knew, maybe I die, you know, scare you to death. If you're not scared, maybe the poison will be scared of you. He just run away from you. You just, you know, get diluted and go out. In India, before I became master even, I told you, even the guru poisoned me. He didn't know. I didn't know. They just gave him the wrong medicine. I was coughing, and he was trying to be nice, you know, because I was working for him in the office to help to answer the letters and all that, and I was very good at it. So many people knew it was me. They said, if I want a question answered, I want you to do it, because they knew it was not the master who answered it. Anyway, he told his assistant to bring such medicine for me, some Ayurvedic medicine. It looks similar to Chinese medicine, or cough syrup is brown, similar. So they brought a whole bottle of massaging oil with a lot of stuff in it. Not just coconut oil, okay? It's to massage for pain, for chiropractic use. Oh, I don't know, whatever in it. After I took it already, you know, a big cup from the hand of the guru, who wouldn't, okay? And then I said, thank you very much. I'm leaving. And they said, wait. Did you really just swallow it down? I said, yes, you saw it. How dare I not? Right in front of you. I just couldn't believe it. And then he looked at the bottle again. Only a little left in the bottle, little left. Oh my God. That's not the medicine. Oh God. What to do now? I said, what to do? I said, what was it there to do? I said, you just drank the wrong medicine. Are you okay? I said, I'm okay. Why not okay? Just coughing like before. The medicine doesn't take effect so quick, you know. I said, no. That is something you should not take inside. For external use only. And I said, oh my God, sorry. And I don't remember what was next, you know. I just said, oh, I have to go back now. And I went out. I don't know what they were talking to each other inside. I walked out and nothing happened. I didn't feel stomach pain or headache or nothing. They said, if you feel this, you know, feel that, or feel that, you please come back, tell us. We'll get a doctor right away. I said, okay, I will tell you. But I feel nothing. So I didn't go back, told nothing. You know, as usual, just a little hungry. So I went to find something to eat. I guess the oil massaged my stomach so well. That made me feel hungry. And I ate a lot that day, thanks to the oil. Okay, chào hả? Too small.现在没有小孩了，还有吗？还有小孩吗？你们护法哈，把这些给小孩子 ，OK 哈 我走了，拜拜了。不是钱的问题，没时间了，好吗？新年快乐！新年快乐！对不起，地方小，你们不能进去哈。所以才出来看你们了。新
年快乐！
新年快乐！多谢。
放生你找个健康，而且自己走路健康。我爱你。新年快乐！新年快乐！不饿。新年快乐！新年快乐！
吃饭了没？
还没。
怎么不去吃饭？吃过了。哦。够饭吃吗？大家？他们煮工啊？人这么多，厨房少工啊？有没有人饿？没。有吗？没有。
新年快乐，开心快乐。
新年快乐哦！也有买卖。从哪里来的？同修啊，同修，你们煮饭够给大家吗？够。真的。啊，太辛苦了哈！人这么多，怎么能够？啊？人这么多能够？哇哦，神通广大，新年快乐，新年快乐，新年快乐，大家新年快乐，
师傅好，
你好，大家好，都是同修啊？
是的。
哇，这么多哈！这边好借口哈，只能同修来也好了。我们小地方就别人不能来。
是。
我们也不是不好客吧，不过这边真的处理不了哈。
是的。
那个，你在哪里？对，如果更多人外人来，就处理不了哈。
对。
真的不行啊。你们这边很严格啊，护法很严格，多写了。这些是对了。昨天有一个医生从香港来看师父啊。他当然不会报名嘛，他以前也是联络人员呢。然后因为师父病很久，他送药从香港来，治不了嘛，所以他怕有什么，他没有查好，所以他赶过来没有报谁名啊。然后你们都不让他进去，让他等在门口。他也传信给我，没看到，懂吗？因为我那个时候忙别的事情，后来还好我想到他，因为他说他昨天要来嘛，结果呢我没看到他，那么已经下午了，什么都没来，所以就问那个找他们问联络人员看看有没有医生什么从国外来。他说有一个站在门口等。我说什么不让他进来？他没报名。他不合法。香港同修嘛，他没有想到，因为西湖谁都可以来啊。
是的。
然后我就说我是某某师傅，要来就来啊。结果来这边好严格，我很对不起，我说对不起，这边那么严，我不知道你是医生也是某某人啊，而且以前要当联络人员，怎么被人家拦这样？他说。我现在没什么人嘛，小地瓜这边很严也好，对师傅很好，他不是怪你们，他替师傅高兴了 ，OK， 也好，不错，谢谢你们护法哈，谢谢大家拥护保护 ，OK， 我真的很喜欢那个高雄啊，不过这边好像空气不大好啊，
对，
我比较敏感了，大家没有问题，你看，你们住很久没问题吗？
没有问题。
为什么我就感冒就来更严重了？谢谢厨房哈，这几天，就你们每天一样的人吗？
不一样
啊。谢谢大家哈，
谢谢，新年快乐！
啊，新年快乐，你们也是，谢谢每天煮饭，我有吃你们的饭，我每天吃啊，所以你们要煮得好哦，不认为我不知道，随便煮给同修吃。
我们都带欢喜心。
啊，谢谢。对了，应该欢喜。
chúc mừng con đi con cởi gió, chúc mừng được không?
谢谢哈。Khỏi ông hay không dám cạo gió đâu, bệnh rồi cạo gió nữa là gió luôn á. She wants to 她要跟我那个弄那个什么抓那个东西了，用那个什么那个块钱那个，然后刮痧了哇！我宁可病不要那个啊，这个很痛啊，是吗？哎。我已经很弱了，身体已经很痛了，让他弄那个样子，宁可不要，宁可吃那些苦的药。Are you alright, love? You look tired. You okay? Okay. You can go sleep. You can go eat now. Okay? You cry? No. Looks like you're not sad or anything. Alright. Okay. I forgot. The kitchen is here. 他们刚印人吃在哪里？有人知道吗？
刚印新的人在哪边吃？
在哪边吃？哎。
都在刚才那边那个桌。
OK。师兄，我不是那个，我现在可以用找你，你带他去吃饭，然后留他在那边，叫他等他朋友。你拿他这个用了 ，No, let him. He's a big boy. Come， 我放他的地方 ，OK。然后你去。You go eat, okay?
Thank you, bye.
Love you. Oh, you're so cold. You have enough clothes?
Yes.
Why are you so cold? Oh, sorry. Go eat now, so warm you up, okay? He will take you there, okay? Don't worry, he's married. He's a good boy. Yeah. And your friend will come the same place later. Every new initiate will go there eat, okay? So you just go. I see you, huh? Sometimes. How long you stay here?
4 days.
Okay. Have a good stay. Yeah. And when you come home, say hello to all the Slovenians, okay? Right. 啊，可以看到哈。好，大家。Good 哈。啊？新年快乐。我认为你说喜欢他，喜欢谁？啊？谢谢。讲什么那么多人讲我听过，新年快乐 ，OK，Thank you。哎呀，健康美丽，做梦，你们健康美丽就好了。谢谢。你们也是新年快乐啊！新年快乐啊！还不要回家啊？要去吃饭 ，OK？ 我不会再回来，要去吃饭哈。不然肚子饿会冷啊！那么多人不来，等一下没菜饭够吗？真的啊！
够。
哇，人这么多，怎么能？就 ，Thank you，Love you，Love you， 对啊，快乐，每天快乐，不是新年而已，天天快乐，好。哎，那些小孩刚才有没有拿到玩具？拿到了，站在那里那边。没有啊，进去给护法拿，那个护法拿玩具就来给那些小孩子。去那边去跟护法拿 ，OK？ Thank you， 谢谢。让他们出去吃饭嘛 ，My God，OK？ 你们健康快乐哈，拜拜，さよなら。